It was the kind of dawn London never remembers. Wet light, freezing fog, and silence heavy enough to make a man believe in omens. At the cargo estate near Heathrow, Unit 7 of the Brinks mat warehouse waited like an unlocked vault in a dream. Inside, guard Anthony Black kept his collar up against the cold, trying not to think about the promise he'd made the night before, to leave the door ajar for some mates who only wanted a quick job. By 6 a.m., he'd betrayed the company and didn't know it yet. A van rolled up, headlights dimmed. Brian Robinson jumped out first, his breath steaming in the November air. "Morning, Tony," he said, voice calm enough to scare God. Behind him, Mickey McAvoy, broad as a bear, held a sawn-off shotgun under his coat. 6 men total. Black nodded, swallowed hard, and turned the key. The sound of the latch was small, but it cracked history open.
The guards inside didn't have time to raise hands before they were taped, gagged, and doused with petrol. You want to live? Open it. The smell of gasoline filled the room, the shine of metal crates catching flickers of flashlight beams. They'd come for cash. What they found was gold, 3 tons of it, stacked like ingots from a pharaoh's tomb. McAvoy stared, jaw tight. "Jesus Christ, Brian, this ain't money, it's the bloody world supply." "Then let's move the world," Robinson said. They worked for 2 hours, sweating under masks, dragging gold bars that clanged like iron bells. 45 minutes in, McAvoy realized the van was riding low on its axles. No more, she'll collapse. They left fingerprints on nothing, fear on everything. When they finally drove out, the first hint of sunrise broke over Heathrow. The men were millionaires and cursed. At McAvoy's farmhouse in Kent, the crew dumped the crates into the mud. The gold gleamed like something alive. Robinson paced. "We can't spend this. You try buying milk with a bullion bar, they'll call the police." McAvoy nodded. "We melt it. Change its face." They needed refiners, men who could erase the gold's origin. That's how Kenneth Noy and John Palmer entered the picture. Businessmen with dirty hands and clean shirts. In a backyard furnace, the bars turned to molten fire. The smell of burning flux filled the night. The men watched the glow and knew they'd crossed into myth. Money came in waves, not chunks. Each bar recast, sold, split, laundered through jewelry shops and betting slips. Weeks turned into paranoia. McAvoy started sleeping with a shotgun under his bed. Robinson hid his share in hollow walls. At the pubs, they whispered about missing bars. "Someone's nicking from the stash." Noy denied it, eyes flat as coins. "Gold doesn't disappear," he said. "People do." He was right. Police pressure built fast. Lloyd's insurance investigators traced refinery metals to small jewelers in Bristol. A nosy neighbor reported a furnace burning too hot in a Kent backyard. Noy caught the tail one night, an unmarked car following the lane. He confronted the plainclothes cop, a man named John Fordham. The meeting ended in a knife fight in the dark. Fordham never got up again. The murder made headlines. The gold had bought blood. Raids came like storms. McAvoy and Robinson were cornered in safe houses, their cash wrapped in towels, their arrogance gone. Courtroom flashes, journalists yelling, wives crying. The sentences were brutal, 25 years each. McAvoy shouted across the dock, "You'll never find the rest of it!" He was right. Less than half the gold was ever recovered. The years that followed read like scripture written in gunfire. Associates vanished, shot, burned, drowned. Rival crews hunted lost shares. John Palmer was gunned down in his garden decades later. Others died in Spain, in car parks, in silence. The press called it the Brinks mat curse. Every man touched by the gold met ruin. Even those who only handled a single ring cast from its melt felt it like a weight. London changed. The underworld learned new tricks from the heist. Offshore accounts, shell companies, gold laundering that fed into the drug trade. The bullion's fingerprints were traced to banks, to new developments, even to legitimate jewelry sold on Bond Street. The gold had vanished into the bloodstream of Britain itself. One detective said on camera, "If you own gold in this country, chances are you own a piece of Brinks mat." McAvoy, older now, gray and quiet in a prison chair, watched a documentary about himself. The narrator called him the man who stole the century. He laughed once, then stopped. "I stole nothing," he said to the wall. "I borrowed it from fools who had too much." Outside, families of the murdered still waited for justice that would never come.
The gold remained the perfect crime, not because it went unseen, but because it kept changing hands faster than truth could follow. 40 years later, Heathrow hums as usual. Unit 7 is gone, replaced by glass offices. A young security guard on a night shift reads about the robbery on his phone and whistles low. 3 tons of gold. Wonder where it is now. Somewhere in London, a wedding ring catches the light. It's ordinary, small, beautiful, and forged from a story that burned through generations. The gold never vanished. It just learned how to hide.